graduated from Little Flower, 86. And I went to pharmacy technician school. I did that for a bit, but I started stealing the drugs and got caught. And thank God they didn't press charges. They knew my sister, she's a pharmacist at HUP. And I went for dental assisting school. And that's kind of where I stayed because I liked it. I like working with my hands. I like working with people, and I was good at it. I enjoyed it.
Worst thing that you have seen or that has happened to you since you've been out in Kensington?
All right, so I prostituted years back, about 4 years back. And this guy, he gave me $30 up front. And we went and parked. And he pulled a knife on me and to my throat. And he told me, this is part of my little twist, I won't hurt you if you don't make a scene, so I just obeyed whatever he said, and he could do whatever he wanted. He had a knife to my throat, and after I got out of the car, I'll tell you what, it wasn't long after that I stopped prostituting, because I just got that scared the shit out of me, What if he would have just sliced my throat and been the Kensington Strangler? Remember him?
And there's so many cases of women who didn't get lucky.
Yeah.
So yeah. God bless you,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And that's the right thing you're doing. You're not going back down that road again. So how do you make your money now?
Thank God I'm a little older and I don't really get picked up because that helps a lot.
Have you OD'd?
Oh, I've OD'd 13 times.
Wow.
I've been Narcan 13 times. So that's why I shoot once in a while. I usually sniff because I'm terrified of that feeling.
What's the difference between shooting and sniffing?
So it's a different rush. Up the nose, it's it stays longer in your system. It takes like 15 minutes to hit you. The rush with, intravenous once it's in the blood, you feel it right away. And there's more of a chance of you nodding out and going out that way than snorting it, because the timing is different. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I try to be real careful in what I'm doing. If I feel high, I try to just hold on to. If I have another one, hold on it till tomorrow. I'm starting to I really feel like I'm on the tail end of it.
Okay.
I hope.
Right.
I hope. I'm 54. I'm going to be 54 July 1st.
Okay, your birthday is right around.
But I started doing dope when I was 38. It's not like I did it at 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're in a nice location today. We're away from Kensington, but we got people that go back and forth to Kensington. This is where they come to hustle in 30th Street and so forth. I met a very nice lady. How you doing?
Hi. How are you?
Thank God for life. I'm doing good.
Yeah. Glory to God.
Amen.
Yeah.
What's your name?
My name is Kathy.
Nice to meet you, Kathy.
Nice to meet you too, Malcolm.
Thank you. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Fox Chase in Philadelphia, up by Ron and Bree.
Okay, yeah.
But I've spent my last 12 years in Kensington. Getting clean, getting high, getting clean, getting high, back and forth, and right now I'm under the struggle still.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's a tug of war for most people, and we know how tough it is to beat those demons. It's not easy.
Yeah. It's almost impossible to do it by yourself.
You need support.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Before we go any further, tell us about Fox Chase. How was it like growing up over there?
Well, I grew up, it was a nice neighborhood. We had a single house, whatever. My dad was captain of the narcotics unit in Philadelphia. So he was pretty strict with me. So I didn't really mess around too badly in high school, but once I turned 18 and got a trade, I'm a surgical dental assistant. I started messing around with some more drugs, in the bars, snorting coke, that whole thing. And anyway, my brother came by one day. I got an apartment. My brother came by and he said he was going to pick up some dope. So I was like, oh, all right, are you going to turn me on? And he's like, no, Kath, you don't do dope. He's like, you do coke. And I was like, let me go with you. So we went for a walk. We go to this guy's house and he had all these lines chopped out. So I thought it was like coke. Here it was dope. And I'll tell you what. I fell out, and my brother brought me to, and wow, I was just on top of the world. And from that day on, I kept waiting every week. It was a weekend thing. And then the monster got me, and it's an everyday thing. It's a morning thing. It's a noon thing. It's a night thing. It's just, it calls you, and you'll be totally sick if you don't have it. And your mind just goes completely nuts. Anxiety, it's just like there's nothing else. You have to have that first. You would steal from God himself.
Steal from your kids. That become your number one everything.
Yeah. I've stolen from my family a lot of times, and they've changed the locks. Now I'm in a spot with them where my brother overdosed and died a couple of years ago, and he was like a spade of me. And my dad was like, I always thought you would be gone before him. He goes, I guess you're not as bad. Like, my dad just didn't understand it, didn't want to understand it. Thought he knew everything about drugs because he ran the narcotics unit, but he didn't know anything about drugs or addiction,
Right.
And yeah, I don't know, I just couldn't stop. And now I'm in a situation where I flipped over a bench in Kensington at effing Allegheny, and my foot was dangling.
Wow.
It's coming up on 2 years in July. I still need another surgery. It's eating my bones away in my hip. I have a hip replacement. I need another one. Like it's almost like it's like almost like an arthritic disease. Like my bones just eating away.
Oh.
And I know it's due to the drugs and the alcohol and everything like that. But I've got myself down to like 2 bags a day, and I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm really praying that the Lord will take the taste out of my mouth and help me to get on the Suboxone, because I left the last 2 detoxes.
Wow.
Because first of all, they wouldn't give me a sub for 72 hours, and you are wigging out like in between those hours, and comfort meds just don't cut it. You know what I mean? And they gave me the 2 places. Every time they gave me the first dose of it, I went into precipitated withdrawal, and once you go into that, you just bust out the door because you're completely set. There's no, you know what I mean? You can't take another one. You'll go into precept again, but the only thing that's going to make you better is the dope. So I'm chained to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm in bondage.
Yeah, it grows roots inside of you, and it's hard to let go. It takes
it's like a lifestyle.
A
Almost.
lifestyle. Yeah, it's like a ritual.
Yeah.
People look forward to that, and if the drugs don't get you, the lifestyle going to get you.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy fight, but you can do it.
Yeah.
What's the longest clean time you had?
I've had 14 months, and this was like 12 years ago. And then I've had like periods of sobriety in between. Almost every year I get a couple months together. I just can't get that consistent sober time because I give up. And it's really through the lifestyle. Like I give up out of the boredom of sitting in the recovery house, of sitting in the same meetings, and not being able to really go anywhere. You know what I mean? Not being able to afford anything, except hustling on the street and getting high. And it has become a lifestyle for me, and it's an addiction for me actually, because I leave the house to go get out of the house to go meet my friends, because I call them my friends. They're my dope friends. They're not my real friends, you know what I mean, when it comes down to it, but they'll help me out and I'll help them out, Down in Kensington, I kind of came to love it down there, but I know how dirty and nasty it is, And
Yeah.
people that look at it from the outside probably can't understand why in the world would people live like that, but that drug gets you, and you know what I mean? It's planted down there, and if you can't get in one spot, there's 13 other spots to go, You just get stuck. I'll be stuck down there today for hours.
So how do you make your money out here?
I panhandle. Basically, I panhandle. I don't steal because I hate jail, and I cannot be locked away.
Have you been incarcerated before?
Only like 10 days.
What was that experience like?
It was nasty. I had this what was she called? She was like a sex fiend. A nymphomaniac was my cellmate. And I told her, if she didn't stop bothering me, I'm just going to get up and fist fight it out. You know what I mean? But she's going to stop. Every time I went to the bathroom, she had something to say. She was like down in her bed saying all kinds of crazy shit. So I popped up. I was like, look, let's fist fight. Because you are going to do this to me the whole time I'm here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then she got all upset. Oh, I didn't mean to upset you, you know. But I went there. There was women in there with like beards and mustaches. I was just like, oh my God. Like, I'm not a fighter like that. Like, these girls were scary.
So you think jail changed you for the better or for the worse?
It scared the shit out of me, so I would say for the better.
Okay.
I don't want to be locked up like that. So I try to keep everything legal, except for, you know, but they let you buy it and shoot it down in Kensington. So
what was the charge that sent you to jail?
Possession and prostitution.
Okay.
Every time.
So what message do you got for the next generation who are getting involved into crimes?
Yeah, the crime is just gonna become a lifestyle for you. You're just gonna keep doing it. You're gonna get addicted to it. You're gonna spend your life in jail. Everyone that I talk to who gets locked up or who's on paper, it's the same story. That was their hustle. That's their hustle. You know, try not to catch a habit. You know, that's the best I can tell you. If you do it, try your best not to do it like 3 days in a row or 4 days in a row, because you're only going to end up where I was. You're going to end up standing in trash up to your knees, you know what I mean, sticking a needle in you, and you know, or worse.
Okay, are you afraid of dying?
I'm afraid of dying under the influence, because Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and of course I want to be right with Him. I mean, I love Him dearly, and I know that He's with me, and I know that He's helping me through this, but I don't want to, I am afraid of dying like high, you know what I mean? I want to be clean when I die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. What's 24 hours out here look like for you, a day in your life?
A day in my life looks like getting up in excruciating pain, popping some Motrins, drinking a cup of coffee, and out the door. You know, coming up here, I get SSDI, so Friday I get paid. So I'll probably go through my check in like 2 weeks, you know, and then I'm broke, and then I start panhandling and hustling, whatever I can do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like even meeting you, like.
Yeah.
If I was high, I would do this for you, but like, if you weren't getting me, you know.
It is what it is, you know,
Yeah.
I understand the struggle. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Cancer.
Yo, shout out to all the Cancers. What are some of your favorite foods?
I like Arabic food, actually.
Wow.
I like Italian, and I like Puerto Rican food. I like the beans and the rice with the chicken in it. You know, if it were up to me, I would be eating gourmet salads every day. You know what I mean?
Right. I
Like-
hear that. What are some things you love about yourself?
I'm pretty courageous, and I'm pretty, I'm smart, I'm quick, I can learn really quick and easy. I have a good personality, and I can carry myself. You know, I
Awesome.
can hold my own, even though I'm hurt. Not as well, but you know, I still can. I think I can anyway.
What are some jobs you had in the past?
I've worked for Dr. Gene Grasso. He's well known in the dental field. He did Oprah's implants, and I worked for him twice actually. And I've worked for Dr. Bayhoff. I've worked for probably each year. I probably had three W-2s, you know, to do my taxes. So I pretty much covered about, it was 25 years span that I was in the dental field. I probably covered about the tri-state area, you know what I mean? Like, always lost the job due to drugs, always.
So life lessons, right? Life lessons. Your hard times that you have experienced in life, all the stuff that you have been through, what lessons have you learned from these experiences that you can share with the next generation?
Okay, so when I was 25, I smashed into a telephone pole with a guy I used to date, but I hung on the corner with him. We were just friendly. I flew through the windshield and broke both my feet, my knees, and my ribs and everything. And just being like a risk taker, you know what I mean? Just getting in that car, knowing we're bombed, thinking everything's a party, you know what I mean? And people judge, my whole face was lacerated. And little kids would walk by and be like, "Mommy, Mommy," and they would point and look at my face. You know what I mean? And people judge a book by its cover, and that's for sure.
Last one is, there are a lot of people in this world who judge people who are struggling with addiction. What's your message for the world?
My message is, you should just thank God you're not an addict. You know what I mean? You should just be glad that you're not addicted to drugs and have to do the things that we have to do. You know what I mean? Because we are good people. We have hearts, minds, and souls and bodies. We're humans. You know what I mean? We're human people. And we struggle. It's a disease. It's a disease in the mind. And, you know, you can't walk in my shoes. If you haven't walked in my shoes, you can't tell me that you can judge me, because you can't.
Hey,
And God bless them.
you heard that from the lady herself, right?
Yeah.
Guys, don't be bitter, be better, all
Yeah.
right? Until next time, and we out there, peace out. Yeah,
All right,
thanks,
good.
love.